Last time on Dice Quest, our heroes explored most of the wizard's hideaway, and Rangrim made a very big mistake. He broke one of the 3 rules of this arcane school. This episode is just going to be me and JJ as we work through his mistake made in the previous episode. Welcome to episode 39 of Dice Quest. What'd you do last time, JJ? What got you in this predicament?
Oh, JJ made an oopsie. JJ made a big oopsie. So we went to the library.
Sure, close enough.
It's the Wizard's Hideaway. There we go.
There you go.
I found a lot of spell scrolls, like a whole lot, and we gave them to Shay. I got poisoned. There were a lot of really cool tapestries. And then my huge brain decided to go ahead and cast Lesser Restoration on myself to fix the poison problem.
Why was that a problem, JJ?
Because it was one of the 3 simple rules I had to follow. And that rule was not to cast spells. And I failed. So, I'm now in the middle of nowhere, in a city that don't like dwarves.
Yep.
And I have to do crimes to get around. And I'm lawful good.
There we go.
So this will be exciting.
Yeah. I am kind of curious how you're going to handle this. So...
Me too.
It's late afternoon.
Okay.
And you just picked up some clothes for yourself that you think will roughly fit you. Because it is much
tight,
warmer in climate here than it was back home. What would you like to do?
Let's see here. So if I remember right, so there's a gravedigger offering a job that's not quite on this side of the law, according to that innkeep who was very helpful.
Yep.
So I am going to go find him.
Okay. How do you want to find this person?
I think I was given a name and maybe a location, but I don't know if I wrote it down.
I don't think... Sure, we can say you were given a location. I don't really remember it, but why not? It would make sense, wouldn't it?
It would.
So, you don't quite know your way around this city very well, so just go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Jack, I might have forgotten dice.
Good job, JJ.
It's fine, I have my phone, it'll be a little faster.
I'm actually going to have you roll that investigation under wisdom instead of intelligence.
Cool.
So it's still investigation, but you're using your wisdom score.
So that would be a 10.
Okay.
Can't even roll dice well digitally.
So it takes you the better part of an hour, but eventually you do find this man. He is a human, so what do you want to do?
So my hood's up, and I'll go up to him, and I'll be like, "Are you the gravedigger?"
Who's asking?
Possible. What's the name of someone who's like a... not employee, but possible... It's not client either. What's the word? Do you know what I mean?
I do. I can't think of it either.
Possible worker. Possible contract worker.
Sure.
Like the one-word version of that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay. I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Know your way around a shovel?
I do.
Perfect. Just hands you, pretty old, beaten-up shovel. Says, follow me. Takes you around back. This is, not quite a tavern. It's laid out like a tavern. And you would imagine if there was anyone other than you two in here, it would be a tavern. But it's just you two in here. So he leads you around back and just kind of points to a spot. Yeah, it's gonna need to be about 10 feet deep, 10 feet wide, and 15 feet high.
I'll ask him what the pay is.
Thinks for a minute. Give you 30 gold. Assuming you don't tell anyone about it.
Alright, Rangrim doesn't love this, but he isn't necessarily in a place where he has a lot of options.
Alright.
So he'll just nod.
Yeah.
And...
Alright.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check just to convince this person that you're not gonna... You can go get dice if you want to.
Okay, I also need to put my pop filter on my mic, so I might just want to mute for a second and be back.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry about that.
You're fine.
Alright, I'm back. I already rolled this one, and it was a 17. Plus persuasion, plus 3, so non-natural 20.
Got it. Dirty 20. So, totally believes you as far as you can tell. And he just kind of leaves you to dig this pit.
Okay. Get digging.
I'm trying to figure out how I want this to happen. Let's do... Because I just recently had another read through and understand of the rules, and I like that I can do this now. Go ahead and make an athletics check using Constitution.
Makes sense.
Because, it's like an endurance thing.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do... Oh, that's another 20. That's a 23. Oh, nice. Sorry, no, it's using Constitution, right?
Yeah.
That's still a 23.
Okay. So yeah, if you didn't know, you can put different skills under different stats and have it make more sense given the situation. Which I really like. It makes way more sense. Sometimes you need to roll a stealth check with charisma.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Anyway.
Or intimidation check with strength.
Yeah. I had players yell at me for so long about that, and I was like, oh, it kind of makes sense. But yeah. Anyway.
But you can. It's in the book.
Yeah. I just wasn't aware. You said 23, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're digging away. It gets pretty late. You are hungry. Like, you realize you haven't really eaten anything since before you entered the wizard's hideaway. And the last thing you tried to eat, you vomited up violently. But you do manage to finish digging this hole. It takes you like a couple hours. Like, it's now dark. But you're not... Like, other than being awake for a rather long time and not eating... Like, digging this hole itself did not make you tired.
Okay.
But just kind of everything piled on.
I'm gonna try and eat a bite of a ration and see if I don't puke it up again.
Alright, you puke it up. Like, violently.
I'm cursed. Aren't I cursed? I'm cursed. Fuck.
Before recording, I told JJ about a big old table of curses. Which...
This is one of them.
I discovered after this happened to you, just so we're clear. So... But I am not going to tell you that you are or are not cursed.
I need to find a cleric, then.
Okay. So, do you go inside after you finish digging this pit?
Where do I... What do you mean, do I go inside?
Like, because you were in, like, round the back of this, air quotes, tavern, and this guy you were talking to, this gravedigger, went back inside. Are you going to go try to find him for payment?
Yeah.
Okay. You walk inside, the gravedigger looks outside the window, sees the pit, hands you the 30 gold. It's just a small pouch filled with 30 gold. And there's someone else in this tavern. An older, not old, but like older looking elf.
Mm-hmm.
And he just says, "You're not from around here, are you?"
No.
And where are you from exactly?
Let's see, it's Whitewater, right? That's what it was called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Whitewater.
Never heard of it. Where is that?
Near Snow Castle?
Going to have to be more specific. Or broad, in this case.
What was that continent called that we were on?
Well, I'll find it later. Anyway, I assume you tell him the name.
I tell him the name.
Well, I've never heard of it, so it must be pretty far away.
Ha! Quite far away.
Are you looking for a way back home?
I'm looking for a few things. I'm also looking for, a temple. Is there a temple to a god here?
There are several.
Or a wizard?
There are several.
Of both?
Aye.
Are there any that are more friendly to people that are of, my kind?
Well, I happen to be very friendly. As long as you do me a favor in return.
I'll nod.
And he just kind of slides you this glass of wine.
Sniff it.
Smells like wine.
Drink it.
Alright. You puke it up. Congratulations, JJ.
Think I'm cursed.
Yes, I think that's what I smell as well. What exactly are your symptoms?
Every time I eat or drink, I vomit all of it up violently.
Well, I don't like having errand boys cursed. I can do something about that for you, as long as you agree to help me.
What do you ask?
Well, long time ago when we drove the dwarves out, they stole a certain staff from my father when they left. I'd like you to get that back for me.
I think that can be arranged.
Alright. Good. What information will you need?
Well, let's start with where you think it may be.
Well, I doubt it was stolen by the dwarves who escaped by sea. Those ones didn't do very well. So, my guess, they would be in the Stone Mother Mountains. To the east.
Oh, I should... Okay.
To the west,
Just give me a second.
I
Find
meant
a
to say
pencil.
west.
Oh, east? I thought you said west.
That is what
West.
I said, JJ.
Okay. Sorry. Let me
You're
just
fine.
write some stuff down.
Notes are important.
I'm getting a staff back. Stone Mother Mountains to the west.
To the west.
Do you know who's holding this staff?
No idea. Like I said, it was stolen from my father. This was, 1,200 years ago. I wasn't quite born yet.
So the dwarves probably are much different than they once were.
Well, the ones that stole it themselves are long dead now.
See, so we have where... What does the staff look like?
It's made of ebony wood with a few veins of rubies running the length. Otherwise, it's quite plain.
Is there anything I should be cautious about with retrieving this staff?
Well, I recommend not dying. That would be quite inconvenient.
Fair recommendation. Let's see. Can I do an Arcana check to see if I recognize this staff as magical? Or religion, or...
Yeah, you can do an Arcana check. Doesn't ring any bells. He gestures down the road, a direction you haven't been yet. About 2 minutes walk down the road, take a left. There's a small church there. The priest owes me a favor. Tell him Vonky sent you.
Okay. Vonky?
Yep.
Okay. I'll nod and be like, I'll be on my way.
Alright.
And then I'll leave to go to the church.
Alright. You head off there. It's pretty easy to find. The directions were kind of vague, but the only road you can turn down that's roughly within the distance is the road that leads to that small church.
I'll walk up,
Alright.
knock on the door.
Alright. You hear a voice from inside. What do you want?
Before I say anything, what church? Who is this church to?
The symbol itself seems to be Odin's symbol.
Okay.
So it's a trinity knot.
Okay. They'll be like, Vonky sent me.
Great. Come on in. And you hear several, deadbolts being unlatched. A couple of those, chain locks being undone.
Mm-hmm.
And the door finally creaks open. Inside, it's almost pitch black. There's a couple candles in here. Right. What does he need from me?
Need you to cast Remove Curse on me.
Why remove curse? What are you cursed with?
Every time I eat, I throw up. Everything. Violently.
Alright. Stay there. And he closes the door again, and you hear several of these deadbolts lock again.
Okay.
How long are you gonna wait here?
What happens after, 20 minutes.
After about, 5 minutes, you hear a couple of what sounds like bottles breaking.
Okay.
You keep waiting?
Yep.
Okay. I certainly hope everyone is enjoying Rangrim's struggles. I certainly am. A little earlier, you may have heard something strange, me telling JJ to go to a church to get his curse removed, without him asking about it. Well, surprise, surprise, JJ's mic cut out. Neither of us have any idea what's going on, so we're just going to have to live with it. Anyway, this episode was really fun, and it was the first time I've ever really ran a group as 2 individual groups, and I think it's going pretty well. The next episode of Dice Quest will be released on the 19th of August. Thank you for listening. We hope you're staying safe, and enjoy the rest of episode 39. Another minute goes by, and then you hear these deadbolts unfasten again, and you don't see any hand. You just see, a booted foot, push this pretty, big-sized potion bottle out the door, and it's just filled with this black, oozy liquid. Drink that. Don't drink all of it at once. Half of it now, the other half in the morning.
Okay, I'll drink half of it now.
Alright. Oh, and don't eat anything between.
Okay.
So, you down half of this potion, and it is disgusting. You choke it down, but it is not pleasant.
But I don't vomit it back up?
No. It does go down and seems to stay in your stomach, which, in a weird way, is kind of nice, because at least you have something in there. It's not just empty.
Okay, then I'll hold on to the other half of that.
Alright.
For later. I'll thank him, and then I'll take my leave.
As soon as you picked up that potion, that door was closing. And you're hearing the deadbolts go.
Gonna be another 5 minutes before he's done with that. Alright, well, I'll leave him to deadbolt his door.
Okay.
Might be a good time to say a prayer to Herdine. Where should I do that?
That's a good question, JJ. One you're going to have to answer yourself.
It is, but one question I also might want to go ask Vonky, or, whoever that was, is that... when does he want me to set out? I guess.
Are you returning to the tavern?
Back? I'm going to return back to the tavern and see if I can find this elf.
He does not seem to be there.
Great. Well, I hope he's okay with me. So I was thinking I might rent a room. But I might just set out, because... What time is it?
It's dark. It's probably around 11.
Okay, then I'm going to rent a room. So I'm going to go to that tavern where the halfling greeted me.
Okay. Back again?
Yes. I would like to rent a room.
Right, that's going to be 1 silver. Best room we've got for you.
Oh, thank you. I'll give her the silver.
Okay. Takes it, hands you this small, really rusted key. Says, out the back door in the, off building. So it's detached, is what I'm trying to get across.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And then I'll go to my new room.
Okay. You unlock the door, and it's pretty much just, a section of the horse stables that isn't much better than the stables themselves. But there is, a small, blanket and pillow on top of a pile of straw. There's,
so I'm
a
guessing,
single
the actual tavern
candle.
Rooms are not for dwarves, right?
That would be safe to assume.
That's fine.
By the way it was phrased, you'd kind of assume, there's a pretty strict law here that if you're found with a dwarf, they better be in the fucking stables.
Yeah. Well, it's better than nothing.
All right.
I'll like bolt this door shut, make sure that no one can get in.
Okay.
Make sure everything's all locked down, and then I'll lay down to sleep until the morning.
All right. You get your long rest in, so if you're missing anything, you get that back.
Okay.
It's not the most comfortable night's rest, but you get it anyway.
Okay.
And you wake up roughly 8 in the morning. Seems pretty sunny.
Seems like it's time for me to down the rest of that potion.
All right. Same thing. It doesn't taste great. Like, oddly enough, it tastes a little better than it did last night, and it's less oozy. It's more liquefied. But yeah, it goes down, no problem. You don't feel any different at the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a little bit, and then I'm gonna try and eat breakfast.
Okay. How long are you gonna give it?
Yes, that's a good question. I'm guessing the tavern keeper does not want me eating in the tavern, like, common room, right?
You're free to make that assumption.
I'm gonna go to the tavern and see if they're selling any food after, like, 20 minutes.
Alright. So, you walk in after about 20 minutes. Says, yeah, we've got some stuff, but you'll have to eat it out back or on the road.
That's fine.
And she'll ask for the key back as well.
I'll give her the key back.
Alright.
How much will that cost me?
Just a normal meal.
Yeah.
Silver.
I'll give her a silver.
Alright. And she slides you, like, a small hunk of bread, some cheese, a little butter. It's not great. There's no, like, meat or anything, but, I mean, it'll fill you.
Okay. I'll thank her for her help, and then I'll head out.
Alright.
Hood is up and everything.
Alright. So, kind of during your exploration last night and looking around today, it seems like the only roads out of the section of the city you're in currently head to the south. Do you want to stick to a road, or do you just want to go by, just walk through the wilderness?
To head out of the city?
Yeah.
Oh, like, on the way to the... Hold on. So you're saying all the roads in the city go south out of the city, right?
All the roads in the section of the city you're in all exit the city heading south.
Yes, I would like to go south. That's away from the elves, if I remember right.
Okay. So you're sticking to the roads?
Yeah.
Okay. To give you an idea, like, as well, the city's kind of vertical. It's not extremely wide. So, like, if you did want to head just due west, you can. You'd just be walking through, like, hills, grassy fields, like the sort.
I'm gonna try and take a road that heads west for a lot of the way. But I am also gonna do something else before I set out once I get somewhere secluded.
Okay. So, you start along the roads headed south. How long do you want to wait until... Like, it doesn't seem like many people are on these roads. Like, there's the occasional passing merchant, like a single caravan goes by.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of go off the beaten path, but not necessarily super crazy hidden.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast Find Steed.
Okay.
And that is gonna be a warhorse.
Alright. Got a warhorse on you?
I do.
Well, you're probably on the warhorse.
I'm probably on the warhorse. And then I will ride this warhorse just along this road.
Alright. Does that spell give you, like, saddles or anything? Or is it just the horse?
Let me look. It actually doesn't say that I get a saddle or anything.
I'll say you can get a saddle with it.
Okay.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, I would assume. Like, maybe not, like, super extensive, but, like, something so I can ride it. Makes sense.
Yeah, like, you're not going bareback. It's not an extremely nice saddle, but you're not bareback.
Okay. It is very strong, intelligent, and loyal, apparently. And it speaks. It has Celestial Fae or Fiend instead of its normal type, and... Anyway, that's just flavor text.
Well, is it a Celestial Fae or Fiend? Which one, Jay? Might come up.
A Celestial, I think.
Okay.
And I think it would also have something, like, kind of related to fire in the way it looks.
Okay.
Because it's the fire god magic. Okay.
Like, just this vibrant orange mane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. It's like a
right,
chestnut
then...
with an orange mane. There we go.
Yeah, I think that's good. Alright. I'm just gonna ride along this road until we get to the Stone Mother Mountains, like a little ways out.
Alright. So, you ride along these roads, and they do curve west, eventually. You've been riding for about 6-ish hours.
Oh, and I'm gonna be eating what that lady gave me as I'm going.
Okay. You do see the mountains, like, off in the distance. They seem to be, like, a good another day and a half from where you are if you kind of, like, beelined it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not too sure if you stick by the roads. Like, roads are kind of curvy. They don't really go to the mountains themselves, as far as you can see.
I'm gonna keep following... I'm gonna follow the roads and see if they stick with it to Stone Mother Mountains, but if they don't, like, make it to Stone Mother Mountains, then I'll have to move off the beaten trail.
Okay.
I'm basically just gonna try and follow these roads for as long as I can.
Okay. Another couple hours pass, and I assume you're giving, like, your horse a break every couple hours.
Yeah, well, I'm also not, like, galloping. I'm just kind of letting it trot.
And does your horse need to eat at all? Just out of curiosity.
That's a good question. I also want to see if it needs to sleep. It doesn't say.
I would assume, since it's, like, a celestial, it still needs to eat and sleep. Like, it...
Okay.
That makes sense. Like, it's still a living being.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, you're still summoning it, and it's still a being that is tangible and has, body organs.
Yeah, it has body organs.
It does have body organs. Okay,
JJ,
well...
2020.
I didn't bring horse feed.
Okay.
Because I did not prepare for that on accident. Horses eat grass, right? That's a thing. I don't know a lot about horses.
I'm not super familiar with horses. I don't live with horses. But, like, I think they can. Like, it's not going to be, like, as efficient as eating, like, hay or, like, proper made horse feed. But, yeah, I'll say it can eat grass. It'll just take longer to actually fill it. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
Like,
it does make sense.
Grass, in my mind, is like the tortilla chip of the horse world.
Okay, that's reasonable. Well, I'm just like, when I stop, I'm gonna let him graze a little bit.
Okay.
Just keep his strength up.
Alright.
Oh, I haven't named this boy yet. I'm gonna have to name him.
Yeah.
Alright.
It does get late and start to get dark. It seems like you've made some pretty good progress along this way. Again, like, you still are managing to stick to the roads, and you're occasionally passing through, like, tiny villages, like maybe 6 or 7 houses.
Like little hamlets, basically. Yeah. Okay.
Nothing that's extensive or anything that really has a permanent guard.
Are there any that have, like, someone that looks like they would trade?
Make an insight check for me.
Okay. Why am I rolling? I could just use my phone.
Because rolling is more fun, JJ.
I did not roll well. 10.
Alright, so it does get to nighttime. There are a couple people, you're not sure if any are willing to trade with you. You don't see any dwarves or anyone even kind of resembling a dwarf. So you're not sure if, like, they would alert somebody or not. You're free to take that risk if you'd like. It's up to you. You're
Probably
just
not.
uncertain.
I'll just keep my hood up and keep moving.
Alright. So, it gets to nighttime. Do you want to press on into the night, giving both you and your horse a level of exhaustion, or do you want to set up camp?
I'm gonna head off to a clearing that I can find.
Alright. You are getting into, like, wooded territory as well.
Okay, so I'll go off to somewhere that's, like, got some trees around it, but it's still wooded.
Yeah.
And I'll set up a fire and eat a ration.
Okay. So, you set up this fire, you managed to find plenty of kindling about.
Yeah, and I'm gonna set off the fire with my sword.
Okay. Honestly, that sword is, like, the coolest thing. I love it.
I know. That's why I'm using it to start fires.
Do I have this right? Your passive perception is 12?
Yes.
Cool. Alright. So, you're eating, enjoying that you can hold down food.
Mm-hmm.
You've got this fire warming you up. Your horse is kind of settled down, resting its head on the ground. Seems to be close to asleep. What would you like to do?
So I can communicate with my horse. That is one perk of this.
Telepathically, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask the horse before it falls asleep if it sees anything.
Does it give a stat for, like, wisdom?
It would just be the warhorse stat.
Okay.
The only difference is that it has more intelligence, if it has an intelligence of 5 or less.
Okay. So, go ahead and roll a perception check. Would you like to look as well?
Yeah, we'll both look.
Okay, so, yeah, roll a perception check for your warhorse and yourself. That's going to be a +1 for the warhorse.
Thank you. Okay, the warhorse got a 5. I got 13.
Alright. So, with the 13, you see something in the woods. It looks, like, pretty big. Like, around 10, 11 foot tall. And, like, hairy. And again, you only see this for, like, a split second. Like, just covered in hair. Really tall. And it, like, you don't hear it at all. Seems to be walking around this wooded area silently. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna kind of, like, keep my sword close and see if I can look over at where I saw it a little bit, and I'm gonna tell the horse to watch the camp.
Okay. So, go ahead and make a... Let's do an intimidation check. Does it, like, is that what you're kind of, like, trying to scare off something? Or just, like, hold your ground? I guess is what I'm asking.
Is there a difference between that? Like, is one of them, like, you're trying to get it out of there, and one of them you're...
Yeah, like, scaring something off would be, like, you know, standing there with your sword, like, getting, like, showing that you're ready to attack something. Or, like, holding your ground would be, like, staying where you are watching, but, like, if something comes out, you're ready to attack.
I'm gonna hold my ground.
Okay. So, in that case, go ahead and make a... No check. Let me just grab a book.
Okay.
Alright, because I wanted to look at something very specific. Okay. Yeah, so you are just kind of, like, watching, checking around, making sure you don't see any movement, and make another perception check for me.
God damn. 9.
Alright. So you don't see anything, but the light from your fire, like, dims around you, like someone's standing between you and the fire, and your horse whinnies. like, as soon as you see this shadow,
Okay.
I assume you whip around.
Yeah, I whip around.
Would you like to
drawn.
just immediately swing your sword?
No.
Okay. You whip around and you see this massive thing, vaguely humanoid, covered in hair, like I said, somewhere between 10 and 11 foot tall. And it just says, "What are you doing here?"
Traveling to the Stone Mother Mountains.
Why in this forest?
I wasn't aware this forest was occupied.
Leave.
May I ask you if there are any other roads to the Stone Mother Mountains?
Just kind of points back towards the road you were just on. Leave.
So is it just telling me to, like, go back the way I came?
It's more telling you to, like, get out of this forest, or it's gonna be pissed off.
So if I'm not asking the creature this, but if I go the same direction I was, like, already headed in, would I be in this forest for a while?
You would be in this forest for, like, another couple days, but you kind of get the feeling that it means, like, this section of the forest. Like, for some reason, this section of the forest is special.
I'll ask it how far I need to go before I'm bothering it.
An hour by horse.
That way, and I'll point the direction I was already heading.
Either direction.
I'll nod and be like, I'll be on my way, and then I'll put out my fire.
Okay.
I'll pack everything up, and then I'll start moving.
Okay. Are you going to ask this creature anything else before you leave?
I'll ask it why it hates visitors so much.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage for me. Like, this is something I really want you to learn, but it wouldn't willingly give up this information.
That makes sense. Oh wow, I rolled twice. Both of them were pretty well.
Oh, good job.
I know. That would be an 18.
18. The young ones live here. I raised them.
Young ones of your species?
No, I haven't seen another like me for about 12,000 years. Not 12,000, 1,200 years.
Young ones like me?
What are you? A gnome?
A dwarf.
No. Like them. And she just points at the trees.
Oh, the young trees. So you raise the trees, then?
More than trees.
Okay.
Trees don't need help growing.
I'll nod and be like, I will not disturb you.
Okay. Out of personal curiosity, has JJ figured out what this thing is raising?
No.
Okay.
Ents?
I will tell you in a minute, like after you get out of this area.
Okay.
So, you douse the fire, you put it out. I presume you get on your horse, or do you just kind of, like, walk it?
I'll get on my horse.
Okay.
Like, pack everything up.
How far do you go before trying to set up another camp?
Probably go like an hour and a half.
Okay. So, you ride on, again, you're going in the direction of the mountains, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you go on for about another hour and a half. You find another place to set up camp. It's a little closer to the road than the previous, but it's not quite as dense of an area of forest as you were in previously. So by your guess, it would, well, not by your guess, but it would be easier to spot anything coming towards you. And by your guess, you won't run into whatever the hell you just ran into.
Okay.
Alright, now I will divulge. You were right, JJ. It is raising young Ents.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I missed Treebeard then.
So, now you know. Because that was just something cool I wanted to share.
I enjoy.
So, you set up camp. Yeah, so I assume just check the general surroundings. Making sure there's not like a wolf den immediately outside of your camp.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It doesn't seem like anything that's going to bother you is nearby. There are a couple owls hunting, few mice running about, the sort, but not like predators, like that would attack you. You don't see any caves where bears might live. So,
Okay.
it seems fairly safe.
I'm going to set up my camp.
Alright.
And then I am going to, just because I'm a little paranoid after I had my stuff stolen a couple times, I'm going to talk to my horse, and I'm going to be like, okay. And this is telepathically.
Okay.
I'll take first watch for 4 hours.
Okay.
Then the horse takes second watch for 4 hours.
Okay.
And then I'll take third watch for 2, and the horse will take fourth watch for 2.
Okay.
And that's 6 hours of sleep each.
Yeah. Got it. It's going to take you
12 hours.
12 hours. Okay. Got it.
So we'll set out like late morning, but
yeah.
That way we can take watch.
All right. You do get through the full night. Again, it's longer, but it's better to be safe than being eaten by a bugbear. So,
yes.
The night goes without incident. There are a couple times where you see various people walking on the road, odd time of day, but none of them seem to investigate your fire.
Mm-hmm.
So, the night goes without incident. Welcome
Okay.
to late morning.
Alright. I wake up, get my horse all ready to go, get me all ready to go. Eat the, 1/3 of my ration that would be breakfast.
Okay.
And then set out.
Alright. And I am assuming, along your journey, you can find little streams and rivers to fill up your water skin in. So that's not an issue.
And boil water at camp, if it's...
Yeah, if you need to. If you
sanitary.
feel like you need to.
Yeah.
It's up to you. Or you could just do it with your sword, too.
I could. Yeah. Because that sword is really sweet.
You have a mess kit, right?
I think so.
That has a pot in it.
Actually, I have it written down that I have a 12-gallon cask of water. That might have been from a while ago, though.
That was from a while ago, but as far as I'm aware, you still have it.
I'm guessing not all 12 gallons is still there.
No.
I've been drinking from it.
From that journey, because you got it on the way to Windsong.
Yeah.
So, from that journey, it was mostly depleted. But, here you can find enough water to fill it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you can still have that.
I actually don't have a mess kit.
Oh, interesting. No boiling water for you.
Yeah. So hopefully water's sanitary.
Yeah. You don't feel sick, so you don't die of dysentery on your way to Oregon, so good news.
I actually had some money for the first time in this whole campaign. I probably could have stocked up on a mess kit and things before I left.
I know, you guys are so poor in this campaign, and I kind of love it.
I'm so used to being poor that now that I have 30 gold, I just forgot to spend it.
That is something I've intentionally done in this campaign, though, because it's most games I play in, it's the players get stacked. I just wanted,
pretty early.
Yeah, I wanted a different experience. It's just groveling for coin. Anyway.
Yeah, you don't just get to walk around. It's like a walking bank.
Yeah.
At 5th level.
Yeah, it's I think the most money you ever had was right before Marilyn's corpse got robbed.
She had a lot of money.
She had 150 gold on her or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, she had a fair bit of money.
Yeah.